Hi everyone, I'm Lynn from Finds of Yesterday, and I realize I haven't done a video lately on my sales. So I decided to pick the top 15 items for March of 2022 and show you what's selling in the vintage category. And these are not going to include any of my jewelry. So let's turn the camera around and see what's selling.
All right, these items should be fairly easy to find at yard sales, rummage sales, thrift stores, anywhere you're out looking for resellable items. This one is a Columbia woman's visor hat, and it was easy to ship because it has this hook and loop closure on it that made it easy to roll up and put in a small box. You could actually ship it in a poly mailer, but I like to protect them when it's not going to raise the shipping that much. So putting it in a box was going to protect it a little better. So this sold, I paid $2 for it. I don't recall where I got it. I think a yard sale. And it sold for $22.99. They're all in at $29.24. And my profit on this hat was $18.05. Next one is this little Six Flags over Mid-America plastic little child's purse. I recall these when I went to Six Flags. We have a Six Flags here in St. Louis area, and it was something that I remember carrying around. And these are little kiddo looking dolls. And the little doll stays inside this case. Whoops, sorry. Inside this case. You can't get her out. She stays in there, poor girl. She's in there for a lifetime. I paid $5 for this at an estate sale, and they paid $30, and they're all in at $35.95 with shipping, and my profit on it was $22.28. This next one is a Native American purse, Chimeo, and you can see how tightly woven it is and how nicely done it is. It did have a couple little flaws. Usually has a leather strap of some sort. And this one, I paid $2 for it at a estate sale. I couldn't believe it was only $2. They paid $49.99 on a best offer, and they're all in at $55.14, and my profit on it was $41.52. This next one, Harley Davidson's always a good brand to look for. I have had a hard time selling my Harley Davidson t-shirts, and I sell them once in a while, but it seems to be taking longer than normal. I used to be able to sell them fairly easily, but I think that they are being saturated on the market now. So this one was a little bit different. It has just a jean front on it and this leather back on it. So it did still take 4 or 5 months to sell, and I probably had it priced a little too high, but it did end up selling for $59.99, and they're all in at $73.69, and my profit on it was $44.48. Next one is a Wedgewood Jasperware plate, or platter it's called, and you can see knockoffs on the market that don't really sell for much, but this is an actual Wedgewood. Here's the little symbol. Well, it says Wedgewood, made in England. Wedgewood Jasperware is made in England. So this is something always that people are always collecting. It's not high priced, but it's a decent sale. I paid $4 for it at an estate sale, and it sold for $25 on a best offer. And they're all in at $35.65, and my profit on it was $18.90. This next one's a Fostoria uranium glass piece. It glows when you put black light on it, as you can see here. That made it a little extra special. Otherwise, these platters you see them a lot, but if they have the uranium to them, they sell a lot better. Not for over $100. I was at an auction not too long ago, and there was a lot of uranium glass, and these two ladies were bidding back and forth, and every piece went for over $100. It was ridiculous. They don't sell for that on eBay. So you're better off just buying them on eBay. But this Fostoria plate sold for $64.99, my asking price. I paid $20 for it, and they're all in at $75.64. So my profit on it was $37.28. Now, this is something you should be able to find. Even without the uranium, you might be able to get $25, $30 for it. Affliction's always been a brand I've looked for when I'm out and about, because it seems like people around here wear that quite often. I don't find a lot of it, but if I find something brand new, as you can see, this still had the tags on it, I'm going to pick it up. And this, I did pay $6 for it at a Savers. I thought that was kind of steep, but I did look it up while I was there, and they were selling for $30 and free shipping, and I couldn't pass it up. So I had a guy offering me $20. That was his highest price. First, I think he started off $15 free shipping. I just ignored him. Then he came back with $18 free shipping and $20 free shipping. I just ignored him because I seen others of these selling for $29.99, and I waited long enough. It took 1 month. It took 1 month to sell, so it wasn't that long for my asking price of $29.99. And again, that was free shipping. So my profit on this hat was $15.64. This next one is a little kiddo, Alice in Wonderland, or Alice in Wonder. I don't know if I got that right. Oh, it is, says Alice in Wonder Little. It's a little vinyl playset from probably the 60s. Yeah, 1967. And it's just the castle, no toys or anything included. And it folds out. I love these things when I was a kid, all the Barbie style ones. This one, I paid $10 for it at an estate sale, and it sold for $71.99 on a best offer, and they are all in at $86.74, and my profit on this was $53.94, even with paying $10 for it. So that's always something good to keep an eye out for, is these little kiddo. Even the dolls sell for a lot. This next one is a Talking Mickey Mouse cassette and book set. I bought these at a yard sale. I bought 6 of these books and CD sets and the Talking Mickey. And I was having a hard time paying $50 for it, is what she was asking. But I figured if I sell the cassettes for 15, 20 bucks a piece, then it was going to be worth it. So I ended up getting the Mickey home, and it did not work after I put batteries in. You could tell it was trying to work, but I kept changing out the batteries and it wasn't working. So I have the Mickey up for sale, but it needs some repairs. So of course I have to sell the cassettes to get my profit back, but they were selling fairly fast and for $20 to $25, all 6 of them. I'm dwindling down. I think this might be the last one I had. You put the CD in the back of the Mickey, and Mickey reads the book, basically. It's a really cute item. So when I broke it down, I paid about $5 for this, and they're all in at $29.84, and I profited $15.84 on it. This next one, I don't normally look for clothes. I will look through the clothes and see if there's anything that's extraordinary at a decent price, but I've kind of quit selling clothes or buying it unless it's something really special. And this dress just stood out to me, just screaming 1970s. And I couldn't pass it up. I believe it was probably something somebody wore in a wedding as a bridesmaid. And this was a size 9, 10, but they were always handmade back then. So they never have tags in them, or hardly ever do, but it was in excellent shape, had the belt with it and everything. Really nice dress. I had to pick it up. It sold for $32.99. They're all in at $42.09, and my profit on it was $25.83, and I paid $5 for it. Holy water fonts are always another thing to keep an eye out for. I seen 3 lots of these at an auction, and there was some that sold for $30 a piece at the auction. So I had to wait till they dwindled down to the last ones, and I ended up getting a lot of them. And I paid about $1.20 for each font, and they've all been selling slowly for right about $19.99. So they're all in at $30.89, and my profit on it was $19.35. This next one is a bubble bath bottle. They're always fun to pick up, and I picked up several of these at an auction, and I ended up paying $1.50 for this Rocky one, and it sold for $17.99. I had this listed since last year. It did take a year to sell this, so I probably had it priced too high because really there was no comps that I could find that had the same condition, because condition's always something you gotta allow for when you're looking at prices of solds. This one was in really good condition, but they sell for $15 to $20, and it's always something fun to pick up and easy to ship because they're lightweight. So this one, they were all in at $23.89. It went first class because it was under a pound, and I made $14.63 on it after a year. So again, was it worth it? Yeah, I would still pick them up. Always look for doll furniture because this stuff is amazing, the prices that this stuff goes for. I believe that this was way underpriced. I should have probably put it more at $50 because it sold within like 15 minutes of me listing it. And I sold it for $34.99, and I had bought a lot of these at an auction, and I think I paid $12.50 for the whole lot, and it had whole bedroom sets, whole kitchen set, dining room, sunroom. There was all kinds of sets in these. So my cost really was only about $2 for this set. So it's definitely something you want to keep an eye out for. People are always buying doll furniture. But I'm going to tell you, I have one lady that from one of my bedroom sets that claimed that when she got it, the table leg was broke. It was a small table and it had 3 legs on it. And I asked her to send me a picture of it, and I was happy to take a return. She wanted a partial refund. She didn't want to return it, just partial refund. So asked her to send me the picture of it, and she didn't respond. And then a couple days later, she sends me another message saying, please give me a partial refund for this broken table leg. Well, I'm just taking her word on it. I just wanted to see a picture of it broke. And she never sent it for a couple days. And all of a sudden I get an image of this table leg on a granite countertop from about 6 feet away. And I didn't even know what it was at first. And I had to zoom in on the picture, and it was this tiny little table leg that was set in this grain of this granite. It was a real elaborate granite top, so you couldn't even see the leg on the top, and she put it in with the grain of the granite, and I had to zoom in so close to see it, or I put it up against the picture of my table, and it was not even the same table leg. So she was trying to get a partial refund for something that supposedly broke on the way. But looking back, this is probably because she didn't want to pay as much as I had it listed for. She wanted like $8 off the set, and I wouldn't give her that much. I gave her a couple dollars off of the set because they were selling fairly fast, and she didn't want to pay that much for it. And she goes, all I wanted was this table out of it, and ended up that was her way of getting her partial refund so she could get the set for that amount. Well, when she sent the picture, I said, I'm not going to give you a refund because it's not the same leg. And I reported her to eBay because that's ridiculous. I'm so tired of scammers on eBay, and it's not fair to the sellers. Before you give any partial refunds, make sure it's a legit claim, because there's a lot of scammers out there that are going to try anything they can to get what they want. So anyway, this whole set was a nice set. sold for $45.69 and my profit was $29.28. This next one was a Rick bar sales. It's a scale. In the description, I have 20 inches tall. It's huge. It's a nice piece and it's a decorative piece. This actually functions because this bar actually moves back and forth from the weight on these plates. But this one, I paid $2 for at an online auction, and it sold for $49.99, and they're all in at $74.84, and my profit was $44.37. Well, the guy received this item and he said it was way too big, thought it was a smaller item, even though it says 20-inch in the title and it said it in the description as well. And it gave the exact measurements across the arms as well in the description. And it was way too big for him. So he wanted to return it. Well, this was $25 to ship it to him, and it was going to cost him $25 back. And it's only sold for $50. So it was really a ridiculous return. But when he returned it, this top piece is bent and it has a little crack right in the corner from it being bent now. So I'm working with eBay trying to figure out. I wanted to jump in here and say that eBay's policy is that if somebody returns an item and it gets damaged in the return shipping, then you have the option to give them a partial refund of 50%. And that's it. You can't keep the whole amount. I don't understand why somebody would want to return something so big and heavy. Anyway, that's the story of the scale. The last one we have is number 15. This is the Heartfelt Midwest of Cannon Falls Lion King. It's a little Christmas ornament and he's got a little red coat on. He's so cute. These are also cute. This is Midwest of Cannon Falls. I used to sell their products back in the 90s when I had a gift shop. This was from a store that had gone out of business, and she just stored her stuff for a long time because she didn't really know what to do with it. And she finally sold it out. So I only paid like 55 cents for this after making a deal on a whole bunch of stuff with her. And it sold for $40 on best offer, and they're all in at $45.95. And I think I still have a couple left, or a couple varieties of these left. They're definitely something to keep an eye out for. I profited $35 on this little thing. It's only 5 inches tall. So make sure you keep an eye out and look it up beforehand, because I don't think all Midwest of Cannon Falls stuff sells for that high. It's just this particular collection of carnival style plush. So that is it. That's the 15 bread and butter items that you could probably find easily out and about, and maybe some variations of what I shared with you today. So if you like this video, please hit the like button and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for joining me. See you on the next one.